R.I.P. Chadwick Boseman, the Black Panther. What a legend, man. 2020 has been so crazy. I know a lot of people listening to this would agree that there's just been too much this year. But this brings me to a topic, like Chadwick being a figurehead for Africa and black people in general. I'm really surprised I haven't seen a lot more people book portraits of his face. But it's funny that because a lot of darker skinned people are not inclined, like tattoo culturally inclined to get a tattoo of his face on them, because I know in my culture, my mom's culture, Nigerian culture, they say don't tattoo people's faces or their names, because it's like bad luck, especially people that have died, you know? So actually, I say I'm surprised, but it makes sense as to why I haven't seen anyone get his face tattooed. But then, on a brighter note, I like the fact that internationally, the trend of tattoos does change. Like I've tattooed all over London, all over a lot of England already. And I've tattooed in a few other countries. Depending on where you are, it's really cool because you can kind of tell by the tattoos you see in the general public. Like, not always where they're from, but you can always like see what they might have been inspired by or what kind of things. Usually anyway, when it comes to tattoo collectors or people that have more than one tattoo in general, there's usually a particular style of tattoo, like praying hands or like doves. This is England anyway. And a lot of darker skinned people in general get religious-based tattoos. And it's funny because I know a lot of them, and a lot of them don't even practice their religion. But that is me digressing, going back to the point. Yeah, I love the fact that you can kind of see a change in trends in tattoos as you go from country to country. When I did the tattoo party in Nigeria for our tour last year, there were religious tattoos, but yeah, the trend there is more a case of big, obnoxious tattoos. Like, they really don't mind their tattoos having no meaning whatsoever. It's literally just like a statement. They want to make statements. They want people to know, yes, I got tattooed this day by this person. Other than that, a lot of them, so it's like a fashion culture. But yeah, other than that, it's kind of hard to find anybody that wants like a meaningful tattoo, like something that I have to sit down and draw for a long time. As soon as I say to a lot of those guys, your tattoo might take 2 sessions, 2-day sessions, they say, huh? What do you mean? I'm going to sit down here for 2 days? Scared. So hopefully the next time I go to Nigeria, I'll be able to convince somebody, or my work will convince somebody, this is the way it should be, to get a large project tattoo rather than just the small ones. I also went to Switzerland. The trend there was like biker tattoos and like gearhead tattoos, basically. Those are cool because I got to do like metallic shading, which I don't get to do very often, you know. And yeah, I'm the type of person that likes a difference. I like to travel. I like different ideas to hit me. I like people to come at me with ideas that I never would have thought of. Because I may be creative, but I'm not like a god of creation. You know what I mean? Like, I still need my clients to be inspired by things so that I can be further inspired in what I research when I am creating a piece for them. And I really enjoy that because I feel like I know so much about the world because of all the different tattoos I've seen and the different like symbols and images that are symbolic to people. Even when I'm making my art, like my personal art, I kind of like, I take some of the knowledge from these things and I place them in there, and I'm hoping for people to say to me, oh, did you put that in there because this thing means power in my language, or, you know, stuff like that. Eventually I want to get to the point where I can do a lot more traveling, a lot more researching around the world and learning about how this world became what it is, traveling, and set this place up. Well, I've set it up already, but set up my apprentices that will soon be professional tattoo artists to look after this place, my home, while I go and lay my seed, so to speak, around the world. This brings me to the future of Raph Tatts and how I definitely want to set up a few more events at festivals. For example, let's say Afro Nation 2020. I'd love to set up another tent there and just knock out a lot of like small tattoos. Like I'd love for people to see how portable and hygienic I can still be when I travel abroad with my tattoo equipment. And this time I'll definitely make sure I have a cameraman that can record it for you guys, so you can see even behind the scenes as to how to set up event tattoo studios. That's like a term. It's not a very well-known term, but event tattoo studios are a thing, like a pop-up tattoo studio that will tattoo people abroad, so I can bring my work to anyone across the world, you know? But yeah, going back to African tattoos and tattoos in general, I love the fact that I've been seeing a lot more Africa shaped, you know, the continent. I love that I've seen a lot more tattoos inspired by the shape of that, because I'm even doing one right now if you have a look. But yeah, I love that people have been doing a lot with that, because I can be very like openly creative with that shape, and it's always recognizable no matter what size you do it. Well, almost no matter what size you do it, as long as it's got like a nice solid outline on it. It's very powerful. It holds a lot of meaning. I'm hoping that I've been seeing a lot of these more recently because of like the whole Black Lives Matter movement and how people are like adhering more to their roots, their home roots, and I really love what Akon's doing. Like, I used to think really badly about China and about their footprint on Africa, but after I've like seen it from another perspective, somebody that isn't like sensible, what I deem to be sensible, has told me from another perspective, well, what about the stuff you don't see, the stuff you're not researching, you know? Because you can't always believe what the media will give you, what the media will feed you. And it's always like a generalizing of things. If one Starbucks treats people badly, all Starbucks are bad after that, you know? And it shouldn't be that. It should be a case of a more in-depth look into the person causing the problem and the issue behind it, rather than just blacklisting. Because I kind of blacklisted China for a bit, and I have no issues with the Chinese or the Chinese culture, you know. But yeah, it was really nice to hear that from him. Yeah, it was really nice to hear that from him. And it gave me a lot more faith in humanity, you know? Especially in these coronavirus days. There's people just fighting left, right and centre about any silly issue they feel like. Boy, sometimes you don't know where to look. In fact, I've kind of focused a lot of my, in fact, most, if not all my energy on tattooing. Yeah, and being healthy in body and mind, because you really have to protect your energy. And I think that's another unifying factor about these African shaped tattoos that I'm seeing now, because it really does bring people together. And it really makes me feel like I'm helping people fight a battle to be them, a battle to be recognized as them, you know, as human too, and yeah, relevant. You know. But yeah, tattoo trends, that's how they are a lot of the time. They follow a general or national disaster or a certain celebrity. I hate the Pinterest era. The Pinterest era is all the feathers and the dream catchers, like, guys, please.
How many dream catchers have you done?
I have done so many dream catchers. It's unreal, and I really try and like customize and make them really all like different. And Lord, Lord, luckily I'm passionate about art. It's not just tattoos, you know. I'm passionate about art in general. So waking up every day to tattoo is not a problem. Not a problem at all.